Alright everybody, you want to know how to make storms in Fortnite Creative. This is the place to be. So this is how you do it, and it's going to make storms just like real Battle Royale, but it's still very easy to actually do. And this works in both UEFN and 1.0. So what I've done here is I've taken the devices right out of Miniature Mayhem, which is one of my published Battle Royale maps. And I just taken the storm directly. So the thing about Miniature Mayhem, though, is that it's kind of small compared to other Battle Royales. So as I'm going through my settings in this, sometimes you might want to adjust your radiuses to be larger. That is all going to be up to you to kind of tune it so that it fits your map. Like the size of the circles needs to fit your map. But what I have here is one advanced storm controller, and I've got 5 storm beacons, which you might need more. Once again, if your map is larger, you might want to incorporate some more in-between phases, but I'd say this works pretty well. Another thing before I start is, for a typical sized map, a good rule of thumb is to make sure that once we get down to the times in here, like the wait time and the resize time, if you want it to feel more typical to normal Battle Royale, then you want to make the times add up to about 20 minutes. I'm pretty sure, because Miniature Mayhem is supposed to be fast-paced, all of these times are going to be a lot less than that. That is really up to your preference and how fast-paced you want your map to feel. Now, we're going to jump into the Storm Controller first. This is what you should always start with. And so I have Generate Storm in Game Start to no. You can have that turned on, but what I like to do is, because in my maps I have a spawn island, so I only generate the storm when people get off the spawn island. So that's why I have this on no, and then in functions I would have generate storm when receiving from, and then usually I have a teleporter, you know. But this is not in Miniature Mayhem. I took it out of Miniature Mayhem, so I don't have the teleporter set up here. But the teleporter, and then when teleported to, it would generate the storm. Or you can just have it generated on game start. That works too. You're definitely gonna want custom phases. I started around 500 meters. I believe if we go out, we can see how far that is. Okay, so you see where I am now is about 500 meters away from that point over here. So that's how far I have it set to be. But for a lot of BR maps, you might take up this whole grid, right? Which is gonna be that's about 1,600 meters. So just like I said, you need to adjust your actual sizes to fit the size of your map. You're gonna have to do some experimenting with this and stuff to make sure you get it just right for you. And then I always have Storm Sickness off, because I'm not sure about it as a feature, but you can have it in if you want. If you want to discourage people from just doing healing in the storm to win. I got the bounds radius to 5,000. That means that the circles that generate within the storm will never leave this 5,000 meter radius. I mean, that's the maximum it will go. 5,000 meters is a lot larger than the grid itself. On finishing behavior, I want to have it stay. If you have it set to destroy, it will just, as soon as the storm fully closes, it'll just disappear. So that is definitely not what you want. And I've got my delay time on 2 minutes. Now over to our first storm beacon. This is going to be phase 1. I've got my mine at 300 meters with a 1 minute wait time and a 1 minute resize time. You're going to want to really pay attention to your resize time as you increase your storm radius. The resize time needs to get longer, because if you say I've got mine 301 minute. If you go up to like 1,000 meters and you keep it at 1 minute, when it moves to the next phase, it'll just move really fast, and it's like impossible to outrun. When Uncrackable Royale first released, its storm was really messed up, and it resized way too fast because I didn't do enough testing. So you definitely want to avoid that because it's just not fun if you can't outrun the storm. Always start at a 1% damage level, and you want it to move randomly, and then these you're also going to need to adjust to, but I've got 40 meters and 100 meters as my minimum and maximum movement distance. That means pretty much how far from this device do you want the storm to be moving. Another important thing that I should mention now, I guess, is that you're always going to want to place your storm devices right in the center of your map, because the radiuses are all based on the location of the device itself. The next beacon, phase 2, 200 meters. Again, I have a 1 minute wait time and resize time. The damage level I've moved up to 2%, and the rest of the settings are the same as last time as well. The third one, phase 3, 100 meters, a 1 minute wait time, and then a 30-second resize time. Like I said, the smaller that the radius gets, the wait time can, or the resize time can go down. My damage level is still at 2%. For movement behavior, I have it to move to beacon. I think that might have been an issue. I think that's supposed to be move randomly still with the 40 meter and the 100 meter minimum and maximum thing. Now in phase 4, the radius is 75 meters, and now these times are both dropped a lot. Wait time is 30 seconds, recess time is 20 seconds, damage level is up to 5%, and then still randomly with a 40 meter and 100 meter minimum and maximum movement distance. And then this is my last phase. The storm radius is going to be 0, of course. Your last one's always going to be 0 so that it fully closes. Wait time 1 minute, recess time 2 minutes. This also is an important thing to note. Your resize time for your final storm circle should be pretty high. It kind of, if you noticed in a game of Battle Royale, it takes really long for that storm to fully close out. So this one is, I got it all the way up to 2 minutes for the resize time and a minute for the wait time. The damage level, I only have up to 7%. By the end of the game, you're probably going to want to have yours up to 10%. I would not do more than that. That's kind of ridiculous. And then still move randomly and still 40 meters and 100 meters. And that is all. So there's a lot of customizations for you to do, but you can take my numbers and my advice about how you can change your numbers. And I'm sure you can do it for larger maps. I'd recommend probably closer to, I'd say 7 or 8 phases, but for my small map, 5 was just enough. And like I've said a bunch of times, the biggest thing is that the size of your map depicts all of these numbers. So just make sure you're doing a lot of testing. That's the most important thing here, just to get your numbers right. Sit through whole games of your Battle Royale, making sure every phase of the storm feels natural and it feels like that you can outrun it. And that is about everything. I'm doing this video because my YouTube studio said that a bunch of people found my channel by searching for how to make a storm, and I don't have a tutorial on that already, so I figured it would be a good idea to make that tutorial. So I hope anybody who needed to know how to make a storm, I hope this helped. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. I always try to answer every comment that needs an answer. And if you have any suggestions for other tutorials, anything that you need, a comment would work fine, but there is also a channel dedicated to it in my Discord server, which is in the description. And if you go there and suggest something, I will definitely see it. And every now and again, if I need to figure out what to make a video on, I'll just head over to that channel and check out what's in there. So make sure, if you have a suggestion, that is definitely the best place to leave it. Just before I end, if you like this terrain, there is a tutorial about how to make it on my channel just a couple videos ago. But that is everything. So, use code GravyMan to support me. I appreciate it a lot. And like and subscribe if you enjoyed and want to see more content like this. Thank you all so much for watching. I should come up with the catchphrase, and I'll see you all next time. Goodbye.